First at 5:30, keeping the heat on the VA. Good evening, I'm Marcia Baumhart.
I'm Michelle Kingsfield. Today, Dayton Congressman Mike Turner said he wants the government to test thousands of former dental clinic patients. Turner is concerned some of your family and friends might have been exposed to disease by a retired dentist who did not sanitize instruments or change gloves between patients. Now, this update comes less than a month after Turner called for legislation that would put VA officials in prison if they enabled patients to become infected. Last fall, VA officials revealed they found a violation of infection control standards at the dental clinic. They began their investigation after a whistleblower came out in July of last year and made those allegations. Jordan Burgess is live with why the congressman is calling for more testing. Jordan?
Well, I took those questions about more testing straight to Dayton VA officials, and they tell me they've contacted and tested more than 500 patients thought to be at risk. And they've also offered tests to any veteran who was a patient at the clinic, even if they weren't in that at-risk group. But according to this report, they haven't done enough to notify those other patients and make sure they get tested. 4 binders full of thousands of pages of information on the Dayton VA's dental clinic. And yet, Congressman Mike Turner and the Greater Dayton Area Hospital Association say it's missing something.
That the VA has failed to notify all of those who have the potential to be affected, and that additional testing needs to be provided.
That's the recommendation from Turner and the Hospital Association, which revealed its updated report on the dental clinic at the Dayton VA. The VA has tested all the veterans who underwent what it considers invasive procedures, things like root canals. But the report thinks that any patient of the dentist in question could have been at risk and should be able to get tested.
The overall philosophy was be more inclusive than exclusive and do it sooner rather than later, and they just thought it was the right thing to do.
So far, 3 veterans have been found to have hepatitis, although whether they got it from the dental clinic is unknown, but the VA has promised to take care of them. We asked the Hospital Association if anyone currently being treated at the VA should be concerned.
If you're a veteran in the community, you should be very proud of the Dayton VA, continue to use the Dayton VA.
The Hospital Association says the current leaders at the VA have been helpful, handing over more than 3,000 pages of documents. But the association says a few are still missing, and it's also been frustrated by all the black lines through much of the material. They say from all of this, you wouldn't even know the name of the dentist being investigated.
That makes it very difficult to do follow-up and figuring out who is responsible for what.
Now, VA officials tell me that privacy concerns are why they blacked out names and other things. They also add that the information in those missing documents is protected, and that's why they haven't released them. Meanwhile, Congressman Turner says this report will allow him to put more pressure on the local and national VA to notify and test those other patients. Reporting live, Jordan Burgess, 2 News on your side.